afternoon, welcome to the World News on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. I am Oluwafisayomi, Ajibola. First, the high point of the news. Former Niger Delta militant Asari Dokubo accuses military of involvement in oil theft. Police Service Commissions approve appointment of Frank Uba Balasi Roma as Deputy Inspector General of Police. Ogun partners French Development Agency on water supply. In business, manufacturers lose 10 trillion naira yearly to epileptic power supply. On the foreign scene, Mali urges immediate end to UN peacekeeping mission. And in sport, Super Falcon coach releases team list for 2023 Women World Cup. Details of this and more coming up shortly. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. Prominent Niger Delta leader Asari Dokubo has accused the Nigerian military of being behind major oil thefts in the country. Addressing State House correspondents after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu on Friday, Dokubo said that 99% of the criminal acts involved the Nigerian military, especially the Army and the Navy. He argued that ordinary Niger Delta citizens who are often blamed for oil theft are not responsible as they do not have the wherewithal to perform such sophisticated act of stealing. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy has described as spurious the allegations by former Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo that some cabals in the military are involved in the oil theft in the region. Reacting to Dokubo's accusation on Friday, the Director of Naval Information, Commodore Adedotun Hayovon, challenged him to name those involved in such an act. He claimed that the Niger Delta leader is only trying to court the favor of President Tinubu with such allegations. According to Von, the Nigerian Army has, through its operations Dakata Dabarao, recorded tremendous success in the fight against oil theft in the Niger Delta region. The Department of State Service, DSS, has been ordered to immediately grant the suspended Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, unrestricted access to his lawyers and family members. Justice Hazu Moazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, sitting at Maitama, Abuja, gave the order on Friday, following an application by counsel to Emefiele, J.B. Daudu, SAN. Emefiele was arrested by the Secret Police on last Saturday after he was suspended by President Bola Tinubu on Friday. The National Judiciary Council, NJC, says it has set up panels to probe 7 judges accused of engaging in acts of corruption. In a statement on Friday, the Council's Director of Information, Sojioye, said the decision was reached during its 2-day meeting held on Wednesday and Thursday. Even though the NJC did not disclose the names of the judges under probe, it revealed that they are judicial officers from the Court of Appeal and State High Courts. The NJC, however, dismissed petitions against 26 others, among whom included the retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Mary Peter Odili. Justice Fatun Rima of the Federal High Court, Uyo, has set aside the judgment restraining Usman Baba from parading himself as the Inspector General of Police. In his ruling on Friday, the judge urged that the originating process in the suit filed by journalist Okechukunwa from the IGP. It will be recalled that Justice Rima had in the judgment declared as unlawful and unconstitutional the continued stay in office of Baba after attaining the statutory age of retirement. The Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of Assistant Inspector General of Police Frank Uba and Balasi Roma as Deputy Inspector General of Police. This was contained in a statement by the Commission spokesperson Ike Chukwuani on Friday. According to Ani, Siroma will replace Deputy Inspector General of Police Ali Janga, who has retired from service and had represented the Northeast Geopolitical Zone the Northeast Geopolitical Zone in the police management team. Represent the Southeast Zone and replaced retired Deputy Inspector General of Police John Namadi, who before his retirement represented the zone. The Commission also approved the promotions of 14 Commissioners of Police to the next rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police and 22 Deputy Commissioners of Police to substantive rank of Commissioners. Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, on Friday paid a condolence visit to Bagura Kingdom, where he commiserated with the chiefs and people of the kingdom over the death of Agura of Bagura land, Oba Suburb Bakri. Speaking during the visit at the Agura Palace in Abeokuta, Governor Abiodun described the death of the monarch as shocking and painful. The governor explained that despite the fact that the monarch lived a very short period of 4 years on the throne, he was being referred to as a unifier for resolving various crises that bedeviled the kingdom during his lifetime. He assured the people of Bagura that the state government will set up a committee to work with chiefs in order to give the late monarch a befitting burial. The problem of water scarcity in Abeokuta and its environs will soon be a thing of the past, as the French Development Agency is partnering the State Water Corporation to rehabilitate water plants and improve distribution network to deliver potable water to the people of Ogun State. Speaking in an interview after leading a delegation to a meeting with the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, in his office at Okemos, Abeokuta, the tax team leader in charge of water and sanitation, Mr. Oliver Gillard, said that they were in the state to make final evaluation of the state urban water project. He said though the project will not solve all the problems relating to water in the metropolis, it would on completion provide thousands of people in the city access to potable water in the nearest future. Also speaking, Acting General Manager of the State Water Corporation, Mrs. Oluwafisayomi, disclosed that the rehabilitations of essential infrastructure has been completed. She assured that when the remaining input have been put in place, water would flow in all the nooks and crannies of Abeokuta and other parts of the state. You are listening to the world news on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Still to come, business, foreign and sports. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the rest of the news. In business news, the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, MAN, says the shortage of electricity supply cost manufacturers an annual economic loss valued about 10.1 trillion naira. MAN noted that the unfavorable situation has positioned the country among the worst countries to do business with a rank of 171 out of 190. According to MAN, the current power supply is inadequate to satisfy the energy requirement of the manufacturing sector and the entire population. The association, however, noted that the Electricity Act 2023, signed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if well implemented, promises to be a major game changer for the manufacturing sector. On the foreign scenes, Mali Foreign Minister has called on the United Nations to withdraw its peacekeeping force from his country without delay. Abdoulaye Diop accused the force, MINUSMA, of having become a part of the problem in fueling intercommunal tensions. Diop made the call while addressing the UN Security Council. MINUSMA's decade-old mission has failed to stop the spread of jihadist violence in the West African region. The United States on Friday announced a further $205 million in humanitarian aid to Ukraine to help the country with shortages of food, drinking water, and other needs as it's fighting against Russia's invasion. The aid, which will be distributed via partner NGOs in the region, was also aimed at helping victims of the conflict maintain contact with family members who have been separated. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a statement, "The United States has provided more than $2 billion in humanitarian aid and $40 billion in military support to Ukraine since the war started." In the world of sport, Super Falcons chief coach Randy Wardrum has released the team list of players for the year's FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The list of 23 players was published on the Twitter handle of the Nigerian Football Federation on Friday. The names on the list include Francisca Odega, Asisa Toshuola, Onome Ebi, Desire Oparose, Chiamaka Nnadozie, Rasheedat Ajibade, Uchenna Kanu, and Gift Monday. Others are Limatu Ayinde, Ifeoma Onumonu, Tony Payne, Jennifer Egine, Michelle Alozie, Tochukwu Ole, and Yetunde Balogun. Super Falcons will face co-host Australia Olympic champions Canada and the Bonded Republic of Ireland in the Group A. That was the world news on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Before I go, a quick recap of the major headlines. Niger Delta militant Asari Dokubo accuses military of involvement in oil theft. Police Service Commission approves appointment of Frank Uba Balasi Roma as Deputy Inspector General of Police. As regards Ogun State, we did also tell you that Ogun State has partnered with French Development Agency on water supply. In business, manufacturers lose 10 trillion yearly to epileptic power supply. On the foreign scene, Mali urges immediate end to the UN Peacekeeping Commission. And lastly, on sport, Super Falcons coach releases team list for 2023 Women's World Cup. The world news was edited by Abidat Tawhid. For more details, you could join us on www.aliyamoyetvradio.com. You can also follow us on all social media handle with the name Al-IyamoyeTV. I am Oluwafisayomi Ajibola. Good afternoon and do enjoy your weekend.